Simultaneous equations. There's two methods, the substitution method and the elimination method. Let's do substitution method first, because that's primarily used in standard math. So you're going to have two equations, y equals 3x minus 2, and another one, y equals 6 plus 5x. That's two different equations, equation 1, equation 2. We want to solve these simultaneously, which means we want to solve for both x and for y. Anyone have any ideas of what their next line would be? Those that do advanced or did advanced, can you help us out a little bit?
Yeah.
In and out. You? Nothing? Nothing. You, Christian?
Put them together.
Put them, what do you mean by that?
Oh, the two equations together. Yes, with what? I don't know.
I know there's methods, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but you're not saying it right, so therefore I'm not going to give it to you until you say it correctly. Because if you've got to teach that to somebody, they won't get what you're saying. You're saying put it together. I don't like it. Joey, anything?
Is it you?
You can tell me what you would write instead of saying what you put it together. Yep.
You match the.
Yes. Again, you're pretty much saying what you're saying. Can you tell me what the next line would be then? What am I going to write?
15x.
15x. No.
The 8x.
8x. I see what you're saying. No. 2x. That's better. It can work, but I'm still going to say no. Okay. Well, then what if I did this for you guys? Ready? Watch this. Forgetting simultaneous equations. If I told you Sam equals 3 plus eggs. Sam also equals 1 plus 2 eggs. Therefore, what can you conclude from that? Sam equals 5 eggs. Right, no, won't work like that. The only thing you should be able to conclude from an equation like that is that Sam's the same in both. That's the only thing you can conclude. So that means these two equations must also be the same. So that means what you can write is 3 plus eggs is equal to 1 plus 2 eggs. That's the only thing you're actually allowed to write from that. Let's go with shapes. If I said Sam equals 3 plus triangle is equal to Sam equals to 1 plus triangle. Again, what can you conclude? You can conclude only 3 plus triangle is equal to 1 plus a triangle. Or 1 plus a square, or whatever. You get the idea? I hope that's what you were trying to say when you said match them. If it wasn't, I hope it is from now. So what I'm trying to say is if they're both y equals, the logic is you just say 3x minus 2 equals 6 plus 5x, because the y's must be exactly the same. Does that make sense? That is not doing elimination, it's technically doing substitution. But without overcomplicating, because what I could have said is bring this guy and substitute it here. And it would have looked exactly the same thing. Like you would have said 3x minus 2 equals 6 plus 5x. But instead of me saying substitute this y into this y, all I'm saying is if there's two letters that are exactly the same, we usually make everything else equal to each other as well for them to balance out. Do we all get that?
That's what I meant by put it.
I thought so.
Yeah.
When you said put it together, I thought so.
I just couldn't explain it.
Yeah, but you had to tell me 3x minus 2 equals 6 plus 5x. If you had said that, I would have said, fine, I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
We're here anyways. We've, in inverted commas, put it together. Now, what do? X is on one side, numbers on the other side. So now you can say whatever you guys were saying, 8x, 2x, blah, blah, blah. Fine, I'll accept whatever, but after this step. So now I want x's on one side. What do you want me to move? The 5 or the 3? 5. I would have moved the 3. That's because I don't like positives. I don't like negatives. I like positives, but doesn't matter. You said move the 5. So move this guy over, and obviously you would have moved the minus 2 over. So 3 take away 5 is negative 2x. 6 plus 2 is 8. And then obviously the final step, x equals negative 4. Are we okay for that? Now, what do we do? Good job. Yep, that came back to you fairly quickly. Sub x equals negative 4 into anything. Anything, doesn't matter, either one, number 1 or number 2. So we're going to sub it into number 1. Y equals 3 times negative 4 minus 2. That's negative 12, take away 2. Y equals 2. Negative 14. Very good. Let's do one more exactly the same, and then I'll move away to a different style again. So wait, copying still? Yep.
Oh,
No, done? All right, one more. One more. Let's go with, I don't know, y is equal to 6x minus 8. Y is equal to 4x plus 2. Okay, straight away, you guys are going to just say, right, what equals what?
6x minus 8
Equals 4x plus 2. Take the 4x away to the other side. Take the negative 8 to the right hand side. So 6 take away 4. 2 plus 8. X equals 5. What do we do now? Sub x equals 5 into anything. We'll just sub it into number 1 again. Y equals 6 times 5, take away 8. 30, take away 8 is y equals 22. Feel a bit better?
Yeah.
Good. That's those style. So if you ever see y equals, you're like, sweet, bang, bang. So make them equal to each other and just do it. Now we're going to make it one level harder. One level harder would be, what if it wasn't like that? What if it looked more like this? 6x minus 2y equals 8. And I don't know, 3x minus y equals 4.
Is this where you do elimination?
This is where elimination comes into play. Okay. Okay. As long as everything falls in line. So back in primary school, you learned keep everything in line. So same thing. Keep your x's underneath x's, y underneath y's, equals underneath equals, numbers underneath numbers. So if they look like this, just to make it clear, does that look like they match? No. So you don't accept that. You would have moved the minus 4 over, or you moved the 8 over to the left-hand side. Just make it match. That's all you got to do. That's step 1. Step 1, make a match. Back to here. All right. You said elimination. Yeah, no problems. Which one are you going to eliminate? Up to you. Pick one. It never matters, but just pick one, and then we're going to talk from that. So Natalia, go pick one. X or Y?
Oh, X.
X. So if you want to get rid of X, you want the X's to be the same. Right now they're not the same. So what are you going to multiply the second one by? 2. You don't multiply just the x by 2, you multiply the whole thing by 2. Because if you multiply everything by 2, have you changed the equation? Well, let's see. 1 plus 1 equals 2. If I multiply everything by 2, have I changed it? Not really. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Yes, still works. As long as you do it to everything. If you don't do it to everything, 2 plus 2 equals 2. That sounds weird. But as long as you do it to everything, it's actually mathematically okay. So we times everything by 2. So now we have a new equation, 6x minus 2y equals 8. Oh, I can't believe I just did that in my head. Okay. You can't solve this simultaneously because it's the same equation. I didn't realize that, obviously, guys, when I created it. My brain works in weird ways. This is 5. We'll make that into a 5. Very easy to fix. We'll make this into a 10. No, it'll never work. Won't work, ever. Sorry. We'll make this back into a 4. I know you hate me. That back into a 4. We'll make this guy, into a 3y. There we go. So that, now we get actually 6x minus 6y equals 8. That's completely allowed. Okay, so now we've got two equations. So I like to rewrite them, unless you're doing them well and you're in control of your work and you know what's happening. I just like to rewrite them because it's a little bit neater. All right, now we look for the ones that are the same. Which ones are the same, x's or y's? X's, because we decided to go for the x's, right? Now, this is the bit that students get confused, but there's a little trick for it if you want to. If they're the same sign, so positive and a positive, or if it's a negative and a negative, it's always going to be subtract. So that means if this was a 6y, and I asked you, how do I get rid of this 6y and 6y? You're actually going to say minus. That's the trick. If they're not the same sign, obviously, if they're plus minus or minus plus, then you're going to plus it. All right, so in this case, it's 6x and 6x. We're going to subtract it. What's 6x? Take away 6x. What's minus 2 minus 6? Well, minus 2 plus 6 is 4. But honestly, guys, all done in the calculator. I actually like that, yeah? Minus 2 minus 6. So let your calculator deal with it. You don't worry. 4y. 8 take away 8, 0. So therefore, y equals 0. Sub it into which one? Number 1, number 2, number 3. It doesn't matter. I like that he said 1 or 2. So you thought it matters if you sub it into 3. It doesn't matter. 1, 2, or 3. Clear? Doesn't matter. Good. Y equals 0. So I'm going to sub it into 1. So we get 6x minus 2 times 0 equals 8. 6x equals 8. X equals 8 over 6, which obviously becomes 4 over 3. Finished. Graphically, if we're going to talk about graphs, where is this? X is 4 over 3, right there.
Wait,
Y,
from,
sorry.
0 plus 4y equals 0 to y equals 0.
Oh, sub y equals 0 into equation 1.
I'm sorry, I'm just going back a bit.
Oh, going back a bit, sorry.
The 0 plus 4y equals
0. Do you agree with that line?
How does it just go to 0?
Do you agree with that line?
Yeah, I
Yep.
get that. But
4y equals 0. 4 times the number equals 0. That's what method 1. Method 2, how do I get rid of the 4? Divide it, what's 0 divided by 4?
Yeah, 0.
Remember what I said at the beginning of this lesson? You guys are very close towards the end of high school math. So everything comes into play. You can do it fast, you can do it slow. There shouldn't be any surprises anymore. Because you're at the end. No more surprises, right? It's done. Enough of surprises. Okay. Any other ones? I guess we can introduce fractions, but why would I introduce fractions just yet? I might leave fractions. Let me think. Any other hard ones? Okay, again, they have to be in line. The same. So let's just do one that's weird. Just to see what you guys would say. And then if we're happy with that, we'll leave it there. 6x, maybe we'll make a negative. Y equals negative 6x plus 2. I'm not going to write y equals now. I'm going to write 2x plus 4y equals 10. Now you're looking at that and be like, well, okay, which one do I do? Well, that can't be the first method because they're not both y equals. That can't be the second method because they're not in line.
You make y the subject.
Yes, you can make y the subject from the second one. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yep, and then make them both, and then do method one. So let's see what she's saying, just so everyone's clear. Natalia said, just make y the subject from number 2. So we'll call this way 1. The reason why I'm going to call it way, because method is the methods that we just did. Way is, it's up to you. You could have done this way that you're saying, another way that I'm about to say. It doesn't really matter. Pick one, be really strong at it, is what my tip is for standard key. Just pick one. Whatever one you're strong at, just do it all the time. Way 1, you said make y the subject. So if that's your way, Natalia, then stick to it. 10 take away 2x. 10 take away 2x, divided all by what? 4.
I'll get 4.
Right? Didn't you say make y the subject? So you're going to subtract the 2x, then you're going to divide by the 4. Are we okay with that? Sure. Then you make y's equal to each other. So then you'll write negative 6x plus 2 equals 10 take away 2x over 4, which I'll continue in a second. What's way number 2? Well, way 2 would be, yeah, bring the 6x over, and that's it. Actually, you're right. So it will look like this: 6x plus y equals 2, and 2x plus 4y equals 10. And then again, you have to adjust. You know, you've got to times this one maybe by 4. And then you'll get 24x plus 4y. Now the y's are the same, equals 8. And then you do what you got to do. Way number 3. Way 3. And I think this is why a lot of students don't like this, because they don't like different ways. They like to just pick one. But that's what I keep telling you. Pick one, be really strong at it. But way number 3 is, if I've ever told you, just like I did with the SAM case before, if I said y is equal to this, what is y equal to now? Well, equals to this green bit. So this is where substitution comes in. You can substitute equation 1 into equation 2 straight away. So it'll look like this. And then you go about doing it. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Nobody cares. Just do one. Be really strong at it. Get the answer. That's all we care about. Cool. Let's continue back to way number 1. There's obviously smarter ones and there's less efficient ones, right? The most efficient one is way number 3. The least efficient one would be way number 2. Way 1, you're happy with. It's never going to do bad for you. All right, we're at this stage. I'm going to times it by 4. So negative 24x plus 8 equals 10. Take away 2x. Bring the 2x over. I get negative 22x. 10 take away 8 is 2. X equals negative 1 over 11. And then to find y, you just sub it into here. And then that's purely calculator. I'm not going to do way number 2 because, like I said, I think it's very inefficient. You probably don't want to do that. But if you did, doesn't matter. You should still get those answers. Let's do way number 3 just to make sure. 2x minus 24x plus 8 equals 10. 2 take away 24 is negative 22. 10 take away 8 is 2. And we get the same answer. X equals negative 1 over 11. And then again, sub it back in to get your answer for y. I can sub it into anything, but for way number 3, you'll only have equation 1 and equation 2, so I'll sub it into equation 1. And the answer is negative 6 over 11 plus 2, 22, negative 6 plus 22, 16 over 11. Something like that for y. You guys will check it, I'm sure. All good? So next week, should I review simultaneous? No. Maybe one question? One exam question next week. Then we'll do one exam question on normal distributions, and then we move forward with non-linear. Done.
Is it because we get the we had for
Yes.